Hello there everybody, it's Neil Baldock from Charles David Casson, letting and estate agents on Duke Street in Chelmsford. I'm looking to bring to the attention of local landlords a piece of legislation that's coming into effect on the 1st of June this year. It's only a few days away now. Something called the Tenant Fee Ban Act. Now, it's not just regarding fees that can be charged, it's also regarding how holding deposits are taken, the amount of deposit that you can actually take from a tenant, and many other things. It's a very lengthy piece of legislation and quite intricate and complicated in some respects. So are you managing your own properties out there? Do you own property that you're renting out? Because you need to be aware of this legislation. It's got some heavy financial penalties behind it, and it's very important that it's adhered to. So as of the 1st of June, only 3 things can be charged to a tenant. One is the rent, the second thing is the deposit, but that deposit is now going to be capped at 5 weeks. So not a month and a half's rent anymore, not 6 weeks, not 2 months if they've got a pet. There's no circumstances now where you can charge a deposit any higher than 5 weeks the rent. So it's very important that that's calculated properly. Obviously you should know that deposits have to be protected properly and registered with a scheme, and that's been in place for a very long time now. But you will only be able to take, for all new tenancies, a 5-week deposit. And the third thing that a tenant can be charged is something called a tenancy default fee. But in doing that, you can only charge those up to reasonable costs. So you're going to have to prove what your reasonable costs are for any defaults to the tenancy. It also covers holding deposits, how much holding deposit you can take. So you can't just make up an amount. If you want somebody to put a holding deposit down to reserve a property of yours now, it's a maximum of 1 week's rent. And you can only hold that for a maximum of 15 days before you have to agree an extension with the tenant or come to an agreement of a start date for the tenancy. Now this is really going to turn into probably what's going to be the next sort of PPI type thing, where people are going to fall foul of this and tenants are going to sue their landlord. So it's really important that this stuff is adhered to and you're aware of it. It's very important also to note that if you've had a tenant in one of your properties for a very long time and you decide to renew that tenancy, that actually then becomes a new tenancy, and this legislation applies to all new tenancies that start on or after the 1st of June 2019. So for instance, if you've had a tenant there for a long time and you decide to sign a new contract with them that starts on or after the 1st of June, you will have to return a portion of their deposit if you've taken more than 5 weeks as a deposit. So if you don't do that, you could be falling foul of this. And there's fines, and there's fines for I believe up to £5,000 for each breach of this act as well. So if you take the wrong holding deposit and then you take the wrong deposit, that's 2 breaches and you could be charged accordingly. So if you are renting property out and you're doing it privately, or even if you've used a letting agent to find you a tenant and then decided to manage it yourself, and then you're getting into things like renewing tenancies and doing your own contract going forward because you wanted to save a bit of money, make sure you're aware of this or get in touch with us, because we're experts in this. We're doing this all the time. All our systems are prepared for this. And we can advise you what you need to do to make sure you're compliant. So 1st of June is a really big thing for the lettings industry. It's really important to comply so that you avoid any heavy fines, and if you need any advice on it, then just get in touch with us in the office. Our number is 01245 835859. All right, thank you very much.